Hello, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Vikas sir.
Ma'am, all the best. All the best, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Rajni.
Good afternoon, everyone.
So shall we start?
Yes, ma'am, we may.
Okay, all right. My screen is visible, right, Monty? All right. So a very good afternoon and warm welcome to my dear students, faculty coordinators and colleagues at AMSR and AFMR. I am Dr. Pranoti Belapurkar. I'm presently working as Professor and Head Biosciences, Department of Biosciences at AMSR, and I'm also convener for NISP. Today, I shall be taking an orientation session on National Innovation and Startup Policy 2019, which is an initiative by Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. At the outset, I would like to thank Professor Atulan Bharat, CDC Director, Group Director CDC, and Dr. Ashok Jhawar sir, who is my principal, AIMSR, for giving me this opportunity to come in front of you and give my little bit gained knowledge on NISP and to orient you what we are going to do in our institutes under this particular framework. So students, I would like to first of all give you a brief introduction, kind of why we needed to get this NISP, why MHRD has taken this initiative. So in the year 2016, MHRD, Government of India, took up an initiative to develop a startup policy document for AICT approved institutions. So they were only targeting the institutions approved by AICT. And the aim was to inculcate the culture of innovation and startup in higher education. However, a more elaborate and comprehensive policy document was required for higher education institutes. So keeping this in mind, in September 2019, the guiding framework was documented by MHRD Government of India under the name National Innovation and Startup Policy. And it aimed to actively engage students and faculties of higher education institutes in the field of innovation and entrepreneurship related activities. Its prime objective was to bring uniformity across all higher education institutions in terms of IP ownership management, technology licensing, and institutional startup policy, thus enabling creation of a robust innovation and startup ecosystem across higher education institutions. So that was the basic aim while deciding to go for such a framework for higher education institutes. So before moving on with my presentation on this orientation of NISP, I would like you to tell the flow of the session. It goes like, why entrepreneurship? Why do we really need to focus on entrepreneurship? Why it has become so inevitable to talk about entrepreneurship and what is the role of entrepreneurs in the economic growth? Secondly, we would be discussing few MHRD initiatives. As the time comes, I'll show you the slide showing MHRD initiatives. Then we'll focus on the NISP module. What is it all about? What are its salient features? What are its important guidelines? And how is it fruitful in developing what it promises? Then we shall be focusing on infrastructure at Acropolis, because we are going to talk about what are we going to provide you at the platform of Acropolis institutions. So we will be discussing few of our highlights in the infrastructural point of view, what support system you can ask for and you'll get from Acropolis, and definitely how our alumni have highlighted the name of our institution, and we shall be discussing few of their success stories. And there shall be a small activity so that I know that you are paying attention to the today's session. Nothing much, but little bit of an activity. Okay. So moving on. Why entrepreneurship? As I told you, entrepreneurship is, directly related to the economic growth of any country. So we can say there is a directly proportional relationship between entrepreneurship and economic growth. However, not all type of entrepreneurships are good for economic development. Say small and micro firms are not necessarily synonymous with entrepreneurship, as many of them do not focus on innovation and yet significantly contribute to the economic growth and development. Therefore, to unleash productive entrepreneurship, it is extremely necessary to develop the private sector. As this slide says, India is aspiring to become a $5 trillion economy by the year 2024. And as the government of India also focuses, we need to be focusing on, rather than doing jobs, rather to focus on creating jobs, rather than being a job seeker, being a job giver. So here comes the role of the entrepreneurship. So for becoming a $5 trillion economy, we need to really evolve the system and mechanism to convert the present demographic dividend into high quality technical human resources that should be capable of doing cutting edge research and innovation and deep tech entrepreneurship. As we know that India stands second in the world for its population after China. So we definitely are competing with China in terms of human resource and its conversion into human capital. So our aim is to move in that direction and convert what we have in the form of human resource to convert it into a skilled human resource and capital for us. So now, what happens when this occurs? Like the overall economic growth can be measured in terms of improving GII. What is GII? GII stands for Global Innovation Index. This Global Innovation Index is a kind of a measuring system which works across 143 countries of the world, and they assess the innovation and startup and entrepreneurship culture in that country on the basis of certain parameters. Say around 80 odd parameters are there, and then they rank the countries accordingly. So as the pic says, you can see it very clearly in the slide that Switzerland tops it. It's there. It was there in the 5 years earlier, and it is today also there in 2019 ranking. Also, it is on the top. But what has changed? That India was at the 21st position in 2015, and after 4 years, like in 2019, we have managed to improve and grab the 52nd rank as compared to China, which again has grabbed the 14th rank. However, we both have a similar kind of a human resource availability. So we really think that with so much of focus towards this innovation, startup and entrepreneurship ecosystem in the country, we have managed to improve our rankings over a period of 5 years, and definitely we are looking forward to improve it in coming years. So apart from GII, there are several other indices that are used for measuring entrepreneurship. One is the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, that is GEM. Another index is the Ease of Doing Business. The third one is the Entrepreneurship Indicators Program. One of them is the GII, as I told you right now. Then another one is Global Entrepreneurship Index. And one more index that was created in 2019. It is called as ARIA. Its acronym is ARIA, and it is the Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievements. It is a framework started by MHRD to measure innovation and startup ecosystem that exists in all the higher education institutions. And that is how the government has started focusing on the higher education as the area where they can actually create and develop this niche And by giving them various rankings in ARIA, they can compete amongst themselves and develop that particular ecosystem to empower our economy. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. So what are the different initiatives taken by MHRD? MHRD, as I've told you, has taken many initiatives. One of them is Institutions Innovation Council, which is actually organizing this particular event in accordance with the NISP module. There are various competitions that are carried on by the MHRD. That is they're called as hackathons. They can be Smart India hackathons, or maybe national and international hackathons on different kinds of problem statements. And then after all these kind of competitions and different types of initiatives by the MHRD, they are ranked by the ARIA. So these are the different initiatives taken to develop that niche, that ecosystem at the higher education institution level, and to involve all the students and the faculties and the staff so that they can together come up with some kind of an idea that can finally enhance the economic growth of the country, right? So that is how we have landed up on the NISP 2019. NISP 2019, which is the National Innovation and Startup Policy. It has come into existence, as I've told you, only in 2019 September, where a 15-membered committee was constituted after looking into the scenario that the AICTE approved institutions are the not only ones who can be focused for the startup and innovation thing, but the other institutions, higher education institutions, where different programs of undergrads, postgrads are being carried out in different subjects and different courseworks, they should also be focused. And therefore, a 15-member committee was constituted by the Ministry of Human Resource Development to formulate a detailed guideline for various aspects related to innovation, startup, and entrepreneurship management. So in the coming slides, I would be telling you what the National Innovation and Startup Policy does for students and faculties, what it proposes to be done, what it promises to be done. So here are the few important points. The first and the foremost is it focuses to develop a culture of innovation and startup in our educational system. That means it gives you liberty. It gives you that platform where you can actually involve in not only ideating, making that idea into a product, and moving ahead in the form of a financially viable startup. Okay. So first of all, that culture needs to be developed in our educational system. So this framework actually focuses mainly on that. So the agenda for doing all that is to actually help you develop the entrepreneurial agenda, to help people manage IPR ownerships, to help them with technology licensing, and also to give them equity sharing in startups and enterprises. So these are the 4 salient features that it focuses on. All right. The ultimate purpose of this guideline, it focuses the students, the staffs, and the faculty members of a particular higher education institute. So it enables the institution to actively support their staff, faculties, and students to participate in various innovation and entrepreneurship exercises. And thus, it encourages them to consider startups and entrepreneurship as their career options. We all know that parents at home and students in this college, they feel like they have so much of ideas in their mind, but they don't find proper place. And whenever they go to their parents or teachers, they're not good mentors to tell them whether they should be following their ideas or not, whether they should be focusing on their idea along with their studies, or maybe they should, after their studies, they can go for their startups or not. So there is always a mental confusion, and there are no proper mentors to guide them. So when we talk about encouraging them in going in such fields, we mean that we allow them to come up with very good innovative ideas, maybe how nascent they are, maybe how childish or immature they are encouraged to come up with such kind of ideas, any kind of an idea. And to nurture that idea, we arrange many sessions with the concerned mentors. We ask them to go for training programs. We'll guide them to develop confidence and the technical know-how that is required to come up with a next step of the ideation. That means a prototype kind of a thing, or a proof of concept kind of a thing, where you can convert your idea into a presentable experiment. So for all that thing, NISP really focuses and asks the higher education institute to give that ecosystem to their students, faculties, and staff members. All right. So how do we really plan? How NISP says that you should focus on this? Because money is an important criteria. Institutions would say we can't be giving money for an idea which cannot propagate, which cannot actually develop into any kind of a prototype. So now, as per the rule, the establishment should earmark some kind of a fund called as an innovation fund. And that fund is utilized for developing and supporting the innovation and startup related activities in the college, in the higher institutions. Secondly, as I told you right now, once the idea is there, there has to be a brainstorming to finalize that idea, to bring it to a particular level where you can actually think of a product. And when you start doing that and a product is made, then you need to design and redesign that product so that it becomes independently viable and compatible with the market requirements, and it's good for competing with its contemporaries in the market. And that is how it goes into the as a brand in the market. Okay, that is the second part. And so institution needs to help and promote and encourage the students to go on that particular path. And finally, the startup is done, or any enterprise is developed in order to develop a financial independence or a financial success. So that is our final motive. So finally, once you have ideated, once you have developed a prototype, once you are ready with a redesigned, a very, very sophisticatedly designed product which is ready to be launched in the market, that should be an innovative thing, and that should bring financial gains to the people who are involved into it, including as an institution should also get benefit out of it, and the people like faculty, staffs, and students who are associated with, they should also get benefit out of it. And that is the whole idea behind it. All right. Apart from that, what are the other provisions that are proposed in the policy? So it encourages faculty startups, which may consist of faculty members alone, or with the students, or with faculty of another institutes, or with the alumni, or with certain other entrepreneurs. So you're not bounded here. This gives you freedom. This policy gives you freedom to work, freedom to choose your team, freedom to think of how can I collaborate with other people with the expertise, other people with the technology know-how, other people who can support you in terms of your finances, in terms of your rules and regulations of branding, copyright, IPR, etc., etc. You have to create a team, and just one person cannot do all these things. So you need to create a team. So this encourages the students to collaborate with faculties, of other institutes, to collaborate with financiers, with entrepreneurs, and such other good people, so that you can have a good team that will be putting forth the maximum effort to make it a viable venture. Okay, we are all focusing to make this a viable venture, right? Secondly, it allows faculty and staff to take off from their semesters, years, and as an unpaid leave, or as a sabbatical leave, or a casual leave, or maybe an earned leave, as they are working for the institute, for the benefit of the institute. Whenever a faculty or a student or an alumni associated with an institute is going for such kind of a thing, he is associated with the name of an institute. So institute definitely wants to be a party to that, how is it possible? It is possible that we give free hand to the students and the faculties by giving them an opportunity to go for pursue their whatever they are ideating. They can pursue their thoughts, they can pursue their innovative venture by giving them leaves, giving them a sabbatical. They can stop their work for some time in the college. They can come back whenever they are done with their product launching and all. They can come and join the college, and that way both the ends are happy. Both the partners in the business are happy. So this is the major kind of an thing that is being provided by NISP. Similarly, allowing student entrepreneurs to appear in the examination. See what happens. This is the major concern, and many a times Atul sir have also highlighted this in his lectures. Like initially, when student used to come to our college and say, "Ma'am, मैं ये तरह के product पे काम करना चाह रहा हूँ, so I need to go to a particular industry, work there, or meet somebody, gain expertise, gain training." But in college, we used to be focused on 75% attendance chahiye, otherwise you will not be able to sit in the exam. So that student was demotivated, but somehow there were few success stories. I'll be coming to that later. जो नहीं कर रहे हैं ये चीजें, जो attendance नहीं दे पा रहे हैं, yet they are being bringing accolades to the institute, or maybe they are moving a step or two ahead in their career. So that is really appreciated, and this policy helps such students by giving them some kind of a relaxation in their minimum permissible percentage, attendance percentage for appearance in the examination. So that is a big relief for the student, from the student point of view. If they really think they have a good idea, they have found a lacuna where they can bring a change in the society, where that can be beneficial for the society, so they can really work upon it, and institute shall help that student to achieve his dream. Okay, so these are the major headlines, or the major points that are to be highlighted in this particular thing. And if you are interested to see this whole NISP 2019 policy, it is available on the net, or maybe your IIC coordinator or NISP coordinator, they can provide you with all these things. So it's a PDF format, you can anytime download it and see it. So from here onwards, I'm little bit moving towards my AMSR infrastructure that I'm going to talk about. So keeping this in mind, the NISP policies, keeping the framework of the IIC under which it is working, AMSR has our own vision. We envision to empower the Indian economy and social growth through young entrepreneurs. So this is the vision for NISP and IIC at AMSR, and our goal is to create a strong and vibrant innovation and startup ecosystem at AMSR. I'm sure that NISP guidelines and the framework will certainly help us to achieve this. We have already started working on this. We have already created policy documents that are required for the benefit of the students' activity, academic policies, and the financial policies that are required to develop such kind of an environment. So we are already working on that. This is not possible if we don't have a team. So AIMSR NISP committee for 2021 comprises of these many people. To be very specific, it is under my convenership. I am the convener here. Dr. Shivani Dubey is acting as a coordinator. She coordinates between the whole committee. The committee has different assistant professors from different departments of AIMSR. As AIMSR, we all know, is a very mixed culture kind of a college. We have commerce background, we have commerce faculties, we have arts faculties, we have BBA, that is management faculties, science, and science includes both biology and the mathematics part. Also, we have a complete bunch, a bouquet of flowers with a different kind of environment. Yet this has to be very we take this as our positive thing, because we can under one roof we can collaborate with so many different people. We can have computational expertise, we can have biological expertise, we can have CAs to guide us, we can have computers, we can have humanities people guiding us. So we all together, and obviously without management nothing is possible. So Shahina is there, Dr. Shahina is there, Dr. Harsha is there, Dr. Vikas. They all together, along with Shivani, we all together are taking care of this NISP ecosystem in AIMSR. So students who are listening from AIMSR, it's an urge that even if you have a slightest doubt in your mind, you can coordinate with any one of them, or you can come to me. And if you have an idea, please don't hesitate, share it with someone. We can really find out a way to give you a platform, right? Okay. So one more thing that this policy actually focuses on, that it focuses on pre-incubation and incubation facilities. So what is pre-incubation and incubation facilities in terms of ecosystem of startup and entrepreneurship? Pre-incubation stands for, it means that you create a team. Pre-incubation means before creating a product, you ideate about that product and you create a team. How you will, just like I've uttered earlier, like you need an expertise on technicality. So you need a person who can guide you in that direction. You need a person who can tell you how can you get government funding, and also you need an expert on that. So somebody from a commerce background should be there, will tell you this is how you have to pay your taxes, these are your profits, these are your liabilities, all these kind of things. And obviously whatever your product is, whether it is an engineering product, whether it is a biological product or any chemical product, then you have to have an expert on that. So pre-incubation means you create a good team. And we should be very conscious and cautious while selecting team members, because this is the place where you can actually make or break the thing, because you don't want your startup to be a dead startup after a year or so, because that is how the startup stories ends mostly. The mortality rate is very high. So we need to take care, and that care, first and foremost care, is to select the team that will, actually sail through all those ups and downs, and you can finally go into a market with a good launch. So that is what is pre-incubation. And once you have made a team, then you need all the other facilities, and that comes under incubation. That can be mentoring systems, that can be boot camps, that can be presenting your prototype, POCs, whatever. All those things then come in the later stages. So that is what is pre-incubation and incubation. So the policy majorly focuses on grooming the ecosystem in higher education institutes by providing a platform to its students, staff, and faculty members to ideate. It gives time for pre-incubation, for incubation, and to develop a POC. And then later on, this POC can mature into a prototype and finally into your product. So the aim is to give them support and facilities to handhold a startup. Okay, so that is what is all incubation is all about, right? So when I say incubation, immediately what comes to your mind is the infrastructure. Without infrastructure, without computers, without high-end, systems for working, by softwares may be needed. Maybe you need some expertise. So you cannot think of all these things. So Acropolis has already taken care of that. Acropolis group of institutes, even before the NISP 2019, had that infrastructure under the guidance of CDC, and that infrastructure is divided into two parts, as you can see it here. Like pre-incubation facilities are there, and then incubation center is there. The pre-incubation facility that already exists at our group of institutions, first one is the Srijan. We all know about it. We have a separate induction program where you know what are the different activities that Srijan, which is a central entrepreneurship cell. What are the different activities that it takes, how it boosts your entrepreneurial culture, and your whatever things you need to know about entrepreneurship. Secondly, every institution of Acropolis group has its own IIC, that is the Institutions Innovation Council. So similarly, AIMSR has its own now. Initially it was not, but since last year we are having our own IIC. And similarly, AFMR is also having its own. You can talk to your coordinator. I think Snehal Phatak ma'am is the coordinator of IIC there. You can talk to know more about it to her at AFMR, sorry. Okay. And Acropolis is the incubation center that is currently present at AITR. So it caters to all the engineering, things that are required, and it gives you all the facility and flexibility to work there. Right. So I'll be giving it a little bit of detail. Like I said, Srijan Entrepreneurship Cell is for the whole of the Acropolis group of institutions. It is a student-driven lobby. Completely, it's a student-driven body which promotes entrepreneurship among the future change makers. That is its youth, as well as the students of the various disciplines. It's not constrained to any one kind of an institute. It's for all of the group, all of the institutions in the group. So it basically aims to impart skills as well as acts as a catalyst and incubator for entrepreneurial activities through initiatives like discussion forums are there, initiative sessions are there, business plan competitions, workshops, boot camps, etc., etc. They keep on doing it regularly so that you get that platform where you need to present your ideas and get a validation from learned people and the mentors of that particular field that yes, you are working in the right direction and you should go ahead with your plan. Okay. Similarly, IIC, that is the institution's innovation council. Like I said, it's present at AFMR and separately at AMSR. The purpose is same. It encourages, inspires and nurtures young students by exposing them to new ideas and processes that results in innovative activities in their formative years. These are your formative years and it really helps to boost that. What are the different activities? Numerous activities are being done throughout the year in the academic calendar of IIC. There are numerous activities. A few of them are mentioned here, like Entrepreneurs Talk is done every year. Then there is Innovators Talk, then Tinkering Lab Visit. Then there is a celebration of Innovation Day, which is celebrated every year on 15th of October. Then Design Thinking Workshop, then Problem Solving and Ideation Workshop. So there are numerous things. Whatever you require, you can also go to your faculty coordinators and ask them to help you by designing a certain type of an activity so that you are benefited out of it. You can also play a part and you can actually ask them to have that activity at your centers. Acropolis, as I said, is the incubation center for the whole of group of institutions of Acropolis. So it nurtures nascent ventures. Whosoever have developed themselves into a small venture, the nascent ventures are being guided and nurtured here by providing the workspace, the shared facility, and the focused mentoring. It proposes, I mean, it's basically it helps you to incubate and materialize the conceptual ideas among the students or the faculty members or the alumni or any kind of other institutions, similar kind of institutions you can combine with and transform into a value-added products in the commercial market. So that I've already told you, this is the place where you can do that. What is the purpose? I've already discussed it earlier. So in Acropolis, you can do this under the heading of Acropolis. So when we do all these activities in the college on a regular basis, so as I've told you, there are measuring parameters on which you are continuously measured, you're monitored, you are numbered, and then you are ranked in the country. So here I would like to say, like one of them is NIRF, that is the National Institutional Ranking Framework. It outlines a methodology to rank institutions across the country. And second one is the ARIA ranking. And this ARIA ranking is also an initiative of MHRD. I have told you earlier, but it actually measures you on the basis of your innovation and entrepreneurship development among students and faculties of that particular institution. And it's a proud moment telling you that all of our institutes at Acropolis this year have gained 5 stars in IIC in the Central India region. That is in between Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and Chhattisgarh region. We have got topmost ranking, and we are into 5-star ranking we have got. So it's a matter of great pride to all of us. So if we keep on working, we can certainly move in the top 10 ranking, I mean, of India, not only Central India, throughout India. So now it would be really unwise if I don't speak about certain success stories of students at Acropolis. So to highlight few, I've taken out few, like there are many, but I have taken out few. One is the recent venture. It's a partnership firm. It's from the students of AIMSR. They are the alumni of 2016-19 batch. And these three students, like Shubhansh, Bidwa, then Tarun and Jatin, they have managed to develop a partnership firm called Aksha Enterprise. Initially, they took this pandemic time as avsar, as an opportunity. Apada mein avsar, as Modi ji says, opportunity in calamity. They have found out. They have started a business. They have started an entrepreneurship in developing. In distributing rather in masks and face shields and sanitizers and dispensers for sanitizers, hand-free sanitizers and all. But now they have gradually moved into area of developing chargeable UV lamps and lights and solar panels. So this is a really great initiative. So as they are not only contributing their part in the economic growth, but they're also employing many students. They're not students, they're employing many people, so they're helping generate employment also. So that's a great thing. And another is a very great success story of an Acropolian who is Harsh Nikra, who is currently working as CEO at Novorbis. The air purifier, you might have a number of times seen this news in national newspapers. So he was a student of engineering batch and just passed out in 2020. So he once participated in an IIC activity, POC concept, where a proof of concept he presented in the form of a prototype. And there he was nominated for the second delegation visit to the South Korea to participate in GII Fest. And there he was selected as best innovator in IIC POC by MHRD. So it's a matter of pride, not only for AITR, but for the whole group of institutions of Acropolis. You can also look forward of doing something that brings accolades to you, your family, your institution. This is one of the picks that was that really shows that he has attended the Global Innovation Fest South Korea, and where he presented his air purifier device. So students, with that, we come to the end of this session. So in the end, I would simply like to summarize what I have been telling you throughout my lecture today. That you're open to come up with any kind of an idea. How small do you think, how immature it could be in your eyes or somebody else's eyes, it doesn't matter. You can come up with that idea, you can talk to your mentors, you can talk to your faculty coordinators. As we say, the support system is available at Acropolis. What kind of support system? You can have financial assistance, you can have mentoring assistance, mentoring in terms of in-house mentoring, as well as from external faculties and experts from that field. And intellectual property protection cell is there that will guide you to not lose on this part, to help you assist with the IPR and preliminary services like patenting, copyrights, designing your products, etc., etc. So these are the few things that you should keep in mind. And finally, as I'm coming to the end of this particular session, I would like you to go ahead and look at some of the simple startups. As I said, no idea is small. Anything that comes to your mind can be turned into a good innovative idea and into a financially feasible and viable startup. Just go through these few student startups at Gujarat Technical University. I hope you are able to see it. Are you able to see it? Can anybody please tell?
Not yet, ma'am.
Still not?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Now?
Yes, ma'am. Now it's visible.
All right. See, this is a startup which is a mocktail. The name says it's mocktail, your liquid humor. They serve fruit-based nutritional drinks. The idea was to give healthy and tasty nutrition-based drink. And it is very, very simple. They create a combination of fruit content, nutrients and spices and condiments. And who is he? He is Mr. Mohak Kabaria. He is from GTU, Gujarat Technical University. Similarly, he is Mr. Jatin Patel. He has developed V-Paint to convert any wall or surface into a write erase whiteboard and projectable surfaces. Then there is a combined effort of Divesh Ashwani and Rahul Bhakchandani. Youth Connect is an online media company providing a platform to youngsters across the country to address their opinion through our platform. So it can be anything. इनमें से बहुतों को देख के आपको लगेगा कि अरे ये तो मेरे दिमाग में भी आया था, अरे ये तो मैं भी कर सकता था. So don't just stop there. Do more than that. Okay? Talk to your mentors, talk to your facilitators, and definitely your idea can be taken up to the next level. There is one more which I really like, जो हम लोग बात करते हैं कई बार. It is called as San-Burn. Sanitary napkins are a great havoc at different institutions also, at different workplaces also. So it's a simple idea to burn that sanitary napkin. It was a good, in fact, we also once started on thinking on these terms, but we couldn't go beyond ideation. ये हमारी कमी थी जो हम ideation के आगे नहीं जा पाए. और ये देखिए आपके सामने product है जिसको अर्चन मेहता ने और दक्षेश मेहता ने बनाया है. So no idea is small. Again, I would like to utter, no idea is small. Just keep on thinking and converting that thought into a product. Okay, guys. I think that's all from me. I hope you have understood the crux of the matter. I hope there might be few of takeaways from this particular session. And I really would love if you can communicate with us. And the activity that I was talking to you about, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am. It's no, the screen is not visible.
Screen is not there. Okay. Just a moment. It's visible now, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, students, this is a small activity for you. अब आप अपने कुछ विचार जाहिर कर सकते हैं, व्यक्त कर सकते हैं, बता सकते हैं जो आपके दिल में आते हैं कि हम हमारे कॉलेज में इनोवेशंस क्यों नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. Why innovations are not happening in our college? आपके सोचने से आपको क्या लगता है कि हमको और किन चीजों पे इम्प्रूव करना चाहिए, या वो क्या ऐसी चीजें हैं जिनकी वजह से हम अपने इंस्टीट्यूशंस में, अपने कॉलेज में इनोवेशंस नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. Okay, and I would be more than glad if you can submit your ideas to your faculty coordinators till 10th of January 2021. All right. I think that's all from me. Thank you all. Thanks again, Jhavar sir and Atul sir, for giving me this opportunity. And thank you all for attending this session. I hope you can have some good takeaways from it.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was indeed a very informative lecture for all of us. And I hope students are getting benefited too. So if you have any query, you can write in the chat box. I have written it in the YouTube streaming chat box. But I think everyone has understood everything that you have explained it so nicely. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, Shivani. It was a pleasure talking to you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can we have a screenshot? If you can just open the camera. All those who are present on the Google Meet, please open your camera. We can have a screenshot.
Shahina, are you there? Okay.
I request all the attendees on Google Meet, kindly turn on your camera so that we can take a screenshot.
Monty, you can open yours. Okay.
Okay. Okay, I think I've taken it.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.